Okay, I would like to start sharing with you a short reflection about why have I decided teaching English or teaching in general, right? Because it's not an easy work. But I believe this is an important job because we can create on a campaign in the growing up of other people, right? Especially when we talk about children. It's very important that our students can feel comfortable with our work, with our strategies, and the most important thing is vocation and teaching with love. So sometimes um, teachers don't feel comfortable in their, for example, workplace, but it doesn't mean that we don't have to prepare our classes. We don't have to give everything from us to our students. So it's very important to recognize, even when our students don't have the best behavior or the best discipline, or perhaps if they have any weakness at any area, we can help them through our knowledge, right? So for that, I would like to start asking you some questions about your experience as a student, on your expectations uh, with your students, your future teacher, and I know you have a lot of expectations with your future students, right? So I would like to know what are your teaching expectations?
Why I teaching? What excuse me?
What are your teaching expectations?
Ah, um, well, I believe I would like to be a excellent teacher in order to make others understand the different things in a easy way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I know that sometimes it's difficult because okay, yeah, the behaviors of the process for someone, it's difficult sometimes that I have to, or I believe that I have to find the ways and I have to study a lot. More than study, check different kind of strategies, different directives. So, like, teaching expectation is like that. Find a good way in order to help others and improve the abilities of others and make the learning in an easy way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I
And
guess
what do you think you could do to achieve your goals as a future teacher?
my goal. Okay, for example, it has a task, motivate others. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what else? Give good instruction or clearly instructions for to others and not just take a grade or pretend that the other get a good grade. The most important is make the other understand and give different tools in order to
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And eventually, it's important if I know different tools and different ways to teach, I can give the others this experience. Yeah? I can teach this experience, and it's important to show that English it's easy and there are different ways to to learn in a funny way.
Yes, it's very important to show our classes in a funny way in order to get the attention from our students.
Yes,
Yes,
I guess that is it.
yes, that's right. So, Vivian, do you consider lab is relevant in the teaching learning process?
About the lab?
Tell me,
About the lab?
I don't understand you.
I can hear you. Well, the question.
I'm
I'm sorry.
sorry. I'm going to repeat the question.
Mhm.
Do you consider love is relevant in the teaching learning process?
Oh, okay. Yes, completely different. uh, yes, love it's really important because if you love in your profession, if you love your profession, it's easy to learn to teach. Yeah, so it's really important. Love your profession, or eventually you love your student. It doesn't matter about the behavior, so you have to love them. Everyone have a different behavior, and the students who have a bad behavior. It's interesting, and if you love and your profession, you can found the little and the little things that the student for the student is good. So it's
Yes,
important to love the way the thing that you are doing. It helps you to find other ways, and I think that love is the most important for everything. We need love in different situations for improve different also different situations.
yes, that's right. And also, teachers, it's important that we're able to solve any situation, good, bad, yes, in the classroom, because every day we can find a new situation, a new behavior, a new work to do, right? And it's very important. Yes, and now I would like to know what do you think about the attitude when we're teaching? How important is the attitude for you when you're teaching?
Yeah.
Do you consider it's relevant or no?
Um, no, yes, it's important because every time you have to have a good attitude. You have to be positive in every
Yes,
class. Uh, well, we know that all the classes are different, all the students or the courses are different, but the attitude is the most important, I guess, because if you have a bad attitude or the attitude is for I know some problem in your house with your life, so the teachers involve all the situations with the classes, with their job, with everything, and it makes the attitude bad. And the students feel that. The students are
exactly.
really how should I say this? I know they get everything. They get everything, and the
Yes,
students say, "Hey,
that's
teacher,
right.
what happened to you?" Yeah.
It's very important our attitude when working from our students because they can feel how we feel. So
Yes.
if we're teaching, if we have a bad day or a problem in our with our family situation, for example, and we go to school with that problem, thinking all the time in that problem, so the students can feel that and they're going to feel bad. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to understand how we feel, and perhaps they will be thinking about what's wrong here in the school. Yes, because they think we're here in the school and they all the time learning or playing, yes, but perhaps they're not all the time thinking about their situations in the familiar aspects, for example, yes. So it's very important that we don't mix our problems, personal problems, with our profession, right?
Yeah, that's
Moreover, when when we're working with other people, yes.
yeah,
So
that's
that
true.
way we don't, yes. If we feel bad or sad, I don't know, uh, we're going to show another face, yes, and try to forget all the time another problems and try to concentrate in our classes, in our job, yes,
Yeah, that's true. We
yes,
attract everything.
yes, that's very attractive for our students.
Mhm.
Now, how do you think you can influence the training of your students, Vivian?
How can I influence?
How can you influence in the training of your students? For example, in my case, I can influence in the attitude of my students, for example, giving them a good expression, a hug, recommendations, accompaniment, funny activities. And it's very important for them because they're going to remember me in a better way.
Okay. Um. Okay. I give them some tools, some ways to review topics, to understand. Um, Sometimes when some students tell me something about their life, about the problem, I listen and I try to give the best opinion or the best suggestion. Well, they do listen up and they sometimes feel that we are
Mhm.
another help for them. So I try to listen every time, and if someone has a problem, I try to help with with a suggestion or recommendation, something
Yes,
that
since
makes
your knowledge.
yes, with my knowledge, or if someone has a problem with English, in this case, I try to find different things, games, workshops, activities in at home. So I guess that I try different ways in order to give the students the best attitude or the best position of me.
Yes, that's very important. The position of our students in our work is because,
Mhm.
moreover, they can influence in our attitudes, in our vocation. Yes, they're the
Yeah,
most important thing.
yes, that's true.
Okay, Vivian, thank you very much for sharing with me your thinking. So, and the next part is about the reflections, taking into account a beautiful picture that I would like that you can analyze. So I'm going to give you some minutes. I believe 4 minutes. It's okay. I'm going to give you 4 minutes in order to you can analyze the image, picture. So I'm going to give you the time that you need to explain what is the main idea of this picture, right?
Okay.
That's a reflective picture about a teaching learning process. Can you see the picture?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I believe this is a beautiful picture. I like it so much. And I believe we can say a lot of things about it. So I'm going to give you 4 minutes in order to you can prepare a reflection about it. and I'm going to wait for you, right?
Okay.
Okay, dear. You can start, right?
Okay.
Okay, Vivian, are you ready?
Yeah.
So you can start.
First of all, in this picture, we can think about that there is a leader with the teacher, and the flowers is our student. And about the flowers, I can say that in a classroom we can find different kind of things, different moods, feelings, personalities, appearances, and the teacher have to have the power to manage those aspects because everyone is different and it doesn't matter about the amount of the students, the student size. The teacher has to take in account and keep in mind that everyone they process each one have to grow in their way. So the love because the image is like a heart. So I guess that yes, the love is really very important, and the teacher have to have the knowledge or the capacity to identify problems. And I think that the teacher in this picture have water because the teacher has to. I think that have to give a seat for each one and sorry, the teacher gives each one a seat
Mm-hmm.
and she have to teach others how it can grow and eventually the teacher have the biggest responsibility in teaching because some students the personal matter for some students affect the process of teaching and learning or eventually understanding. So the teacher have to share their knowledge to improve the abilities for everyone because yes we sometimes don't know about the problems for everyone and we have to manage it. So the teacher has to give time for each one in order to try to understand what is the problem or what happened with the student and try
Exactly.
to find the characteristics, the personalities, the appearances. The teacher has to be really respectful about it, and the teacher has to understand and the the teacher has to share their knowledge and in the same way for everyone, but taking account the problems or the special needs for everyone. So every student is different. Everyone needs to learn, but each student has different capacity, different different way to understand things. No? So you have to like I think this kind of thinking about the
It was very good, very good. So I agree with you, and I believe this is a good comparing. I believe this is a good example about students because when we compare students with flowers in this case, it's a way to show the real life, the real situation on our work, also teachers, right? it's very important to recognize that we have to feed, and it's very important that we don't feel obligated to do it, but we do it. So, for that reason, it needs education to understand the different behaviors, the different disciplines, but in this case, the different thoughts from our students. So, it's very important that we feed them every day and we give them that we're giving them the best of our knowledge, so in order to they can feel comfortable and they can feel confidence with us, right?
Yeah.
So for that reason, our next question is about it. So we usually remember our best teacher when we were children. Yes. For example, in my case, when I was a child, I remember at the school, I had a good, very good teacher. She was my English teacher. Yes, and I believe sometimes she can influence in the chasing of my bachelor because since her experience, I loved English in all her classes. So uh, she was a very reflective person, and she was all the time listening all our problems in order to accompany us and giving us the best of her knowledge. And I believe it's a great remember uh, because I could feel all of her accompanying all the time. So when she left the school, I feel bad. Yes, because I believe she was the only teacher who attend our needs, right? From her knowledge, thinking about no teaching us, but educating us, because I believe it's more important. So, in your case, what do you remember about your favorite teacher when you were a child? And I wanted to know why he or she was important to you.
Well, thinking about it, um, I guess that teacher when I was in sixth grade,
Yeah.
she was um, she was my science teacher, like no science teacher, and I love science too. And she gave she gave me the basis to understand chemistry and everything about science within the body function. And well, I would like to be a doctor, so he helped me uh, to understand everything about it in a good way. And she taught me for 4 years in my high school. So every time she asked me about what happened with uh, knowledge, if I am learning or if I have some problem, she always helped me with different things. And sometimes she bought sorry she bought juice or ice cream, and she get she said, hey, come on, I bought this and I want to give you this. And well, it's something interesting because in this time, she can notice that if I were wrong or if I were sad, she goes with something and she talks with me every time.
Yes.
Uh, it's nice because you know that you have another confidence different from your house, and you can share your ideas with other people. And she was an excellent teacher for me. When I graduated, she was in the graduation. Of course, I cried about the way I have to raise me.
Mhm.
Yes, I think that is okay. Believe. Uh, I have to say thank you about everything that she helped me in this time. And the graduation with emotional time this day
Of
because
course.
yes, it was my whole high school and
Like,
it was nice.
yes, I can understand. Right. That memory is very nice. So I believe when one of our students, or all our students, remember us with love and with friendship, I believe it's nice for us. It's comfortable because it means that we're working well. Yes, but I believe the most important thing is not teaching a subject, a singular subject. No, I believe is accompanying our students and educating us so they can think, right?
Yeah, that is
When,
just
why? Excuse me.
that is just the idea, not just teaching a subject,
Mm-hmm.
but each completely thing, like the life.
Exactly. Yes. And why do you think or do you consider were the strategies um, your favorite teacher used to get your attention when you were studying?
Um, well, at this time, in the school that I studied, we don't we didn't have student tools. So in the classroom, she had different games. The one that she thought it was I don't know it was nice because her attitude she was really positive and I just that it was the most important to give the attention for everyone, not just for me, but for everyone. And sometimes she talked about the experiences or the way to we learn. So she loves not just class, not just the classroom, not just the board and we write or make different guides or worksheets. She she likes to go out. My school is really big, so she likes to go out and take the class in the grass. If it is a sunny day, it was nice because she made us different activities in order to learn different things. And when it was a practical activity, we
Mm-hmm.
went to the laboratories and practice. Uh, and she was really strict with the others. I think that when a girl is strict with different things about order and behave in the class, we learn more. Or I don't know, I like to the teachers
Mm-hmm.
and be strong or um, strict with the order and with the flexible, of course. Um, if we work good class or the previous class, probably we can stay at the classroom, but we can share with the others. We can make some. We can share
Hmm.
food and everything. Like
Yes.
share between us. Um, and yeah, we can relax sometimes. Another time we have to work really hard. I think that is the best way. And she she was the best teacher at the school because of that. And I guess that those kind of expressions, those kind of beliefs for teacher are good to manage class. Make love or some be funny to it. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes she plays with us. She plays with us. We usually play volleyball at the school.
Yes.
Plays with us. And yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing when you
Yes,
teacher
that's great.
in the students environment.
Yes, and I believe it happens in every schools. Yes, we can feel comfortable with some teachers, especially with one or not. Perhaps we don't find an excellent or a good teacher, for example, in the university. Yes, because it can happen uh, at university, the classroom. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and we can encounter or experience different situations like that in any place, right? Where we learn. Yes, it was a good reflection. Thank you very much. So now I would like to share my screen with you again. In order, you can see other picture, right? In this picture, we are going to talk about the different feelings uh, that we students can feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we don't understand why they feel bad, why they feel bored, why they feel confused. And it's very important to analyze their behaviors, and because moreover when we're teaching, we learn to understand each person, each student. So when we see in a different way one of our students, we can think about her or him, worry maybe, yes, because we don't know what's happening with he or she. Yes. So I'm going to share with you my screen, and I would like to know if you can see the picture.
Yes, I can.
Yes. Moreover, our students see a great problem when they're not. Yes. So it's our work accompanying them in order to tell them that the great person, for example, you can, you're able to do it, you will do it. Yes. You need confidence. Yes. Count on me. Right. So I will give you 5 minutes to analyze this picture with the different concepts in it, and I'm going to give you the time you need to explain this idea, right?
Okay.
Okay, you can start. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I can hear you. Please start.
In this picture, we can some different concepts with different modes about students usually still in the classroom. For example, first one is review. Sometimes the student, we watch the student and we say, hey, what happened with you? Or hey, you ate a lot of candy today. Um, okay, the student, if the student is in a position, no teacher. I'm really anxious because today I've gone to the doctor and I feel nervous that
Mm-hmm.
I have to go and well maybe share without what happened or why they are anxious. Or sometimes we can rush the student in the opposite that is worried because in this case we will the student and we said what happens with he or she and the expression in the children are really expressing we say hey what happened they something oh no you can would you like to share with me what happened the student decides she or he wanted to tell us what happened, or sometimes just they say, no teacher, I don't like to tell anything, with anyone. So with my friends, I never say nothing to my friends, and my father said, okay, okay, if you want, you can tell me. Don't worry. If I can help you, I will help you. If I
Yeah.
can. Another is love. When you are, I guess that it's pretty funny because you look to your student and the student has a face expression is funny because you know that it's really love that they don't know or they understand and say you are lost, yeah. You need that I explain again or I go to your place and I can explain you again
Mm-hmm.
because
Yes.
your expression is know that the student is lost and they okay, don't
Mm,
worry, I'm going to see you again. And
exactly.
yes, I like the face.
Yeah.
Or when he's confused, the student told us, no, we don't have to say, are you confused? Because they know. And they say, teacher, I don't understand, or no, my mind, I can't make up in my mind. Please explain me again. And I say, okay, don't worry. And I know that other students know everyone, but one or two are confused, and I can't help the others with this explanation again. So it's interesting when they are lost or confused. But I think that the most complicated is when the student feel it's curious because the attitude of the student is part of the group, or the students can share their ideas, the
Mhm.
idea, or if they want to think about something, well, the student do it, but it's in they sit in the corner of the classroom or alone and no more. So we think about it, and sometimes I go and say, what happened? Why don't you join in a group and work with them? Or if you don't understand, tell me, or I know what happened.
Mhm.
Sometimes the students say, no teacher, my partner told that I don't know, or my writing is bad, so they can join in the group, and it happens frequently with different things. So I said, no, no, what happened? Come on, you can do it, and you can work with them. And I try to take the students and sit in the group that I know that the students are good and are responsible, and they don't do things like that, like food or. But I think that the most difficult to manage it is when the student feels excluded. I'm not sure it's really usually because the student is between yes or no. So you have to take the student, and if he or she needs to explain again, I have to do it in order to be sure, because they have to know that with everything they have to be really sure, because if the student isn't sure, it means that the student don't understand.
Yeah.
So I think that is, those kind of things are really important.
Yeah. That's right. Sometimes, unfortunately, we find situations where the students spend a lot of time in a school with us, also teachers, but they arrive at home and they're alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because their parents are working all the time, and their parents believe uh, paying for a good school or paying for a good clothes, for a good toy, for a good pair of pants, pair of tennis, a new jacket. Yes, uh, they they're doing it well, but no. Yes, for that reason, sometimes we can find situations where our students tell us, "Teacher, I'm worried. My parents don't love me. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not important for them." And it's very worrying that our students they're thinking about it, on that way, right? Because they're children and they should unworried about anything. Yes, they be worried about, for example, play, sleep, doing their homeworks, sharing with their friends, worrying their brothers. Yes. It's very important for them, and they're observing everything around them. Yes,
yeah,
unconsciously, we can perceive some of that situation, but it's very important to recognize our work in order to establish a way to accompany or help our students. Yes,
mm,
but that was on the next question. Yes, it was very good, your reflection. It's very, very good. And values are important in the teaching process.
also definitely I can understand.
Tell me.
I can understand.
Okay. Uh, to you, values are important in the teaching process? So you can answer. In my case, I believe values are one of the most important things when we're teaching. Why? Because it's different teach to educate. So when we're educating other people, we can transmit values, yes, respect, love, discipline, or a lot of values. What do you think about it?
Okay, about my belief,
Hmm.
I guess that it's important. Okay, the difference of teacher is that in, in English, the students, some students uh, have really bad stuff to try to understand different things in English. And it's the problem we have that I believe that if the teacher want to solve this problem, teacher have to look for different ways or try to understand what is the problem with the student. So
Hmm.
I believe the teacher have to keep in mind and review about um, the um, historic problems with the student. Mm, if the student have something with the medical issues, well, the teacher have to speak in a community. So teacher have to know about different things. I believe that an English teacher have
Hmm.
to know about different subjects. So we have to know about math, science, Spanish, chemistry, everything because sometimes in English yes,
Yes.
is from whatever, different reading and involved in a different situation. So the teacher have to believe in their knowledge and have to prepare to any situation. So I think and believe that the teacher have to have the power and the capacity to share the knowledge with everyone in a different way and manage whatever situation.
Exactly.
Yes, I think about it.
Yes, it was very good. Now, how can you help your students to improve their confidence? How do you consider you can do about
Mm, well, I think that hmm, first of all, the teacher has to be really, really confident in order to give the confidence to the student. No? So, when a student tells us something about this problem, we have to pay very good attention about the student are talking about and give them a complete solution. Yes, I know that most of the time we can do everything, but we can help the students in order to manage the situation. So if you can learn, listen well, the student can understand about the thing that we are talking about. And we can tell other teacher, we can tell other students because if we do this, if we do that, we can grow the confidence and it will be a problem because the student feels that if he or she can believe or can understand or can anything about tell anything about the teacher. So for instance, it's really important to don't believe or reveal anything about others because the student.
yes, that's right.
What do you
It's
think
one
about
of
it?
the most important values, I believe, because if they feel comfortable or feel confident in themselves, so they're going to develop any exercise in a good way, in a relaxed way in front of their mates and in front of us. It's very important. So, do you consider teachers can learn from students or no?
Yes, of course. The student, the process in teaching and learning is between both parts because we can learn about our students and the students can learn with us. Because if the teacher, for example, if the teacher is new, this, and we don't know anything about the group, the student can tell us different ways in order to know the group. So doesn't matter if the teacher have a methodology to teach. The teacher have to know about the group experience and the group behavior.
Yes,
So
a good example.
we have to learn. We have to learn from for our students. And in other hand, with some topics or with some activities, the student can say us different things to do this activity. It happened to me in the beginning of the year because
Mhm.
I knew and I don't know anything about the students. So I went to activity and the students say, "Hey teacher, why don't you um, do the activity in another way?" And I say, "What way?
Yes,
Or what you can recommend me?" And the student told me how to do the activity because they sometimes have different ideas and the imagination, the mind is really, really amazing. And the teacher have to accept and have to learn about it too.
exactly. Yes.
Yes.
Also, teachers, we should not say that we're only teaching, yeah? Because we're human beings, and human beings are always learning, yes, from each situation every day. So it's very important. Sometimes our students teach us how to manage any situation, how to give them an explanation, yes, how they can understand any topic, yes, because sometimes we can be wrong about our strategies used in the classroom, yes, and it's very important to propose new and different ways to teach, yes, because their evaluations all the time, all the time, yes,
Yeah.
and moreover, they have expectations with us, yes, and they can feel, yes, that teacher or this teacher understand and can show me in a funny way this topic, this difficult topic, yes, for example, when they don't like a subject, yes, a difficult subject for them, they're going to think about, hey, yes, I can ask to my teacher how to do this, yes, or they can feel that they can't ask any teacher because their teacher is going to be hungry, for example, yes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it's a good example about the problem that we can get as a teachers,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yeah.
Evaluations that as a teachers we can ask, yes, ourselves. So the first one, it's like a kind of motivation message.
Mm-hmm.
So because we will think about it, we're going to improve our classes, our mindset, right? So the first one, after each class or after finishing our classes today, yes, what was my best moment today, and how can I have more moments like it? What do you think about it? It's relevant?
It's what? What is it?
Do you think it's a relevant question or no?
Okay, if I ask to the student this question,
Excuse me?
if I ask to the student this question, what they think?
No, yourself as a teacher.
Ah, okay, okay. Excuse me.
No, the more.
Okay. Yes, I can think about it because every day is different in school. So every day you can learn different things and different situations happen each day. So I can think, and of course we need to think about it. What happened in the day? If we felt happy or not, because
Yes.
if we were happy or we felt happy in some situation, we know that we are in a good situation, or we were in a good situation, and we can think and keep in mind this situation. But even if something bad happens, uh, we have to think about it and we have to recognize what was the problem. In
Exactly.
order we can solve or we can improve or change the attitude or situation, the way that this mistake or this wrong, what was is wrong, we can change it and make something better in another situation or
Yes.
in the other day.
Yes. If we're uncomfortable, we must think about we can improve the way we do the things we do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So, and what do you think about this? What was your most challenging moment and why? Yes. So I could respond. My most challenging moment is, for example, when my students and understand the main topic. Yes, how can improve the explanation of the strategies that I'm using in the classroom in order to and understand. So, what do you think about it?
Okay. Um, mm, I feel that something happening. Uh, Eventually, the something about grammar and the students, most of the time, they don't recognize different things. Eh, for that reason, I feel really challenging to solve different situation about it. And when I explain this, the students start to participate, to be active in the class. I said that something good I'm doing. So they are participating and activating. In
Yes.
this case, I said, okay, they are understanding. And when I I put the exercise, when I write down the exercise, eh, they start to participate and complete or whatever with the exercise. If they participate, I know that they understand. So I say, wow, I can do it, and it's amazing,
Mhm.
and I feel comfortable about it because I know that I can do it there. That well, the other teachers or the students can can believe that they can do it.
Exactly. It was very good. Yes, it's very important. And I believe this is another important question in order to you can feel good with your job. Yes. Um, I believe the work environment is very influenced in our practice because when we don't feel comfortable with our work or our mates, for example, if we don't have a good collaborative group, perhaps we're going to be I don't know, bored, sad, because we don't find we don't find the companion, we don't have the help that we need. So eh, this is a question: how was my mood with others today, and how can I improve it?
Okay. Well, we have the situation our competitors that part of they are part of our team process, so we can learn from them too. So it's important that they can help us to do something. And if the day was a problem, or if you don't know how to solve something, if your coworkers are good and uh, they are really willing,
Mhm.
uh, they help us, and we don't feel alone about it. And at the end of the day, we say, "Well, it was good because I had this problem, and someone helped helped me helped me to solve it." So it's really important here kind of question and process because it was their contract that they don't help us and the place it's really environment is really stressful. No, you can't feel any comfortable and you say no, my coworkers they are terrible or I can't solve this problem and no one help me to do or to solve it and I don't know and so the teacher start to feel afraid, anxious, boring. So
Mhm.
it's it's better when you have a good group with the staff and the school.
Yes, it was very good. Yes, it's important. Now, this question above is very relevant to evaluate our practice. Yes, in what ways did my students surprise me most today? So I'm going to share with you my thought. In this case, sometimes each group of students has a different characteristic. For example, the discipline. Yes, and we can compare, unfortunately, compare with the others, each group. So it's very important to recognize when a group that usually is very undisciplined. Sometimes we found this group in a better way. Yes, and they're sitting, they're paying attention, they're very concentrated. Yes, I believe this is a good, comfortable way to students can surprise us as teachers, right? Because it's very important to evaluate, yes, or consider the effort of our students, because not all the time they're playing, they're running, they're crying. No, sometimes they can feel comfortable with a singular place, and they pay attention, they're concentrated, and they like our classes. Right? It's very important this question. And what do you consider will be a good way your students can surprise you?
Okay. Yeah, this class that you mentioned really interesting because you know the group is really noisy of everything and bothering about everything, and you go and everyone are okay, so we say wow, what happened? But
Yes,
we work in a good way and say what happened with those days. But okay, I think that we have to understand something happened before, so that's
yes,
that's interesting. Another way is when you don't say anything about a homework or an activity, and the students go and say, "Hey, teacher, I did it, and I want to know if it is correct." And we say, "Hey, but
yes,
I never said anything about it." Yes, but I want to do it. I wanted to do it. Okay, that's good. And I checked or I give a viewpoint, and if I have to correct something, I corrected, and the student said, okay, teacher, I understand, and whatever, he corrects, here, she corrected it. And that's interesting, because you don't say anything about it, and the student just do it. So that's interesting.
yes. And it's okay when we congratulate them or when we motivate them with our comments, right? For
Mm-hmm.
example, hey, very good. You can do it your and too, and it's very comfortable as a teacher, and I would like to find it very good. Yes.
Yeah.
I believe this personal question is very motivating. So, what did for myself today?
Excuse me, teacher?
And what
Teacher?
so say to
Teacher, excuse me, the connection is lost.
way to help me. Yes, it's a way to help myself to develop my professional work. Yes, what do you think about it?
Teacher, excuse me, I can hear you. The connection was lost. sure. Can you hear me? Yes, sure. Can you hear me? Sure.
Yes, I
Hello?
can be.
Yeah? No, teacher, I can hear you well.
I was
The
hearing you well. I don't know what
connection
happened with the
again.
connection, perhaps.
Yeah, I can understand
Okay,
you,
I'm
but it's
sorry.
sorry.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. We will continue. Yes, can you hear me well now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. An important question is what did I for me today and why is this important? For example, I can say today I sat with my students and I had them to solve some of their problems, their troubles. It's a good activity for me because I can afford my professional education, yes, and moreover as a person because I feel good when I can help the others, yes. So it's a good activity that I can for myself, yes. What do you consider in your case? What did you or what could you do for yourself, and why is that important?
Okay. I guess that I can tell my students um if they are okay about the classes, because they have to or they can tell me about if they are okay, if they feel comfortable with the classes, or if they want to like change something, because it helps me to find different ways and improve my teaching strategies. Um, I think that it's important. Make some question about it because we can go and teach. We can go and give them the class that sometimes we focus just in teach because the time, because different things or different uh, solution that we have to do or we have to give to the students, to our boss. I think that it's important to take a class or take a few moments in the class to make small conversations about it and try to solve this together. And especially we can talk with our students about anything that we done. Sometimes they can tell us the things that probably are wrong or we have to change in order to be more productive, more amazing the class. I think
Exactly. Very good.
that
Yes, you're right. Yes. And I will finish with this question that it's very important and I believe can relate all the other questions. Yes. What do you want everyone to be able to say about you at the end of the day?
mhm. um
Yes.
well. this time of the day, yeah, I think that at this point of the day, we have we have to compare what is really don't we didn't do in order to like to share my experience with others
Mm-hmm.
or think about the things that I did today and think about everything my student, my strategies, the topics, prepare classes. And I have when I prepare classes, I have to think about it in order to change something that didn't work previous day and try to do other things at the next day. In this case, it's important to arrive home or while I walk home, I think about it and I just arrive and try to look for another activity or other strategy and be ready for the next day.
Yes, you're right. Very good. I believe all of these questions show us that we have more strength, that we realize and more support than we know. Yes,
Mm,
but in the end, change starts with our work, our personal realism. Yes. The practice using these reflective questions, naming that, as much as possible and watch how our teaching practices, our relationships, and for example, our outlook in general, all transform for the better. Yes, and we can feel good with our profession. Yes, with our work. Yes. So thank you very much again for sharing with me all your ideas, your thoughts, Vivian. They were very good explained, and I believe you're improving meaningful your English level. So we are going to finish with our meeting. Yes, I believe it was a good meeting, and I hope you can see or you can feel comfortable and you can learn anything each encounter because it's the main idea of. So see you in our next encounter. Yes, congratulations for participating at all of our encounters. You're very responsible. I say you this again.
yes, yes. Thank you to you for everything, and of course I learn and I have to improve my English every time, and those kind of encounters are nice because you speak in English and I can share my ideas. And if I'm wrong, you can correct me, and I have to learn from each mistake that I have. So thank you so much for this question.
Of course, and it's a pleasure for me.
Thank you
Okay,
so much, Ella.
okay, thanks for you, and see you in our next encounter.
Okay,
Good
thank
night
you.
night.
Same to you. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Vivian.